I'm turning my kitchen table into a full-time art studio so that hopefully I can paint more. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about my artist studio, aka my home studio, aka my kitchen table. So like a lot of artists who are starting out in this business endeavor, I can't even say it's a business yet because I'm just barely starting, but like many people who get started, you use the space that you have. Sometimes it's a bedroom, sometimes it's your studio apartment, sometimes it's your living room. For me in particular, it's my kitchen table. So I use my kitchen table like most people use their kitchen table. Not to eat at, but to put stuff on as soon as I walk in the door. It's a storage place. It's a holding facility until I can move those goods from the kitchen table to elsewhere in my house. I would love to think that I would sit at my table, have a lovely dinner by the candlelight while enjoying a glass of wine, engaging in thoughtful discussion. But let's get real. This is how I actually eat. I sit in front of the television and watch TV. I could say probably a lot of people do that. Maybe most people, maybe not. What I don't have is an Instagram-worthy artist studio. I would love to one day. I hope I can do that video. Welcome to my studio. It's so incredibly beautiful. Let me show you around. But no, right now I've got a kitchen table. So this is actually my kitchen table, and you probably can't tell, but it's kind of ugly. It's kind of stained. I mean, I don't want to remark on the table itself. It's like a kind of cute table, like high-end IKEA, made of real wood, but over the years, I've had it for over a decade. It's seen life. It's been loved. It's been stained. It's been patinaed. It's got character. It's kind of no longer a kitchen table, and I feel like it's time that I turn this table and that area that I call my dining room into an art studio full time. Let's not kid ourselves anymore. I don't eat at the table, so why pretend that it's a table? I don't have an art space, so let's turn it into an art space. What I'm thinking here is if I have a dedicated art space, I'll be more likely to use that space. As it is now, I end up having to peel off the tablecloth, bring out my art supplies, set up my easel, set up my paints, get everything ready. And if I only have 3 hours to paint, then that's it. Like 30 minutes of that time has gone to fixing up my table to become my painting area. And by then, I only have a couple of hours left, and you can't really do a whole lot in a couple of hours. I mean, maybe some artists can. I can't. I'm not at that level yet. Because then I end up having to pack it all up, get ready, so I end up not painting. And I think if I had a dedicated area where I could specifically paint, my paints are laid out. Bro? What did you just do, bro? Okay, we're back. At this stage in my life, it's just me and my dog. And we don't really sit here to eat. So why have this table? There's maybe like twice a year when I use this table for actually its intended purposes of eating dinner at, but the rest of the time I don't use it for that. So instead of keeping this space as an empty space that I'm not using for what I need it to be, or rather not using it for what I would like it to be, I decided I'm just going to convert it to a table. I think I would be more inclined to paint, more inclined to do art if everything is set up. It's kind of like that little desk I have over there. It's set up to do charcoals, and so I do them. All I have to do is get a new piece of paper out. Super easy. And I find that I do a lot more work, a lot more drawing, and I feel that would be the same way if I turned this table into my art studio full time. I dream of having a big, wide open space with floor to ceiling windows. I don't know what it'd be, northern or southern exposure, whatever. The best exposure of light that you would get throughout the year without like direct sunlight. It would be amazing with this romantic view of the mountains or the ocean in the background, and you would feel so inspired. It's the place that you could dedicate to doing your art, and that would be so amazing. And maybe someday I'll have that, and I'm totally jealous of the people that have that, but I don't have that. Right now, currently the house I live in is kind of like a hobbit hole. Half of the house is buried underground because it's built into a hill. So I only have windows on 2 walls. The other 2 are like cave-like, so I only get direct sunlight from those 2 sides. And because of the way my house is situated, it doesn't get a lot of light. There's some trees overhead and then a big carport, so I don't get a lot of direct light. So it's actually, like, honestly, truthfully, probably the best place for a vampire to live. I think they would absolutely love it here because there's no direct light that shines in, so they could live happily during the day without burning up into smithereens. They would love it. They would absolutely love it. But as a human being who requires light to do stuff, it's kind of a drag. So when I was going through and I was trying to decide where I was gonna put this art studio, the kitchen table was really the only place that I had an option to use. Not only is it a space that I don't use frequently for eating at, except storing stuff, it also has the best light in the kitchen. It's the one spot that has 2 lights, and it's also very airy. So I live in Hawaii. We leave the windows open all year. It's well ventilated. It really is the ideal spot to do it in. So you may be asking yourself, like, you know, if you watch some of my other videos, you'll see that I have a real job and I make real money. And then you may be saying, Raquel, like, why don't you just go rent a studio and go find that dedicated space that you dream of? And sure, I could go do that. I could go spend thousands and thousands of dollars a month to rent a space because I live in Hawaii. It's very, very expensive here. I probably could do that, but I don't want to do that because what I'm trying to do is save my money so that I could retire early. Maybe. But that's the goal, so that I could retire early. I also kind of lazy. I don't want to drive somewhere else. I would rather just do the work here. And I don't think you necessarily need to have an Instagram worthy aesthetic space that's super beautiful to get good work done. I had a friend tell me recently that some of the best artists that she's ever worked with haven't had a lot of money, haven't had a lot of resources, and they utilized what they had to make some of the best work possible. And I think that's what I'm going to do, is utilize the space I have, the constraints that I have, and try to see what I can produce here. So, what do you think? What is your art studio like? Where do you do your work? Do you have a dedicated studio space? Comment below. Tell me about it. If you don't, where do you do your work? Do you go to like a co-op? Do you use your kitchen? Do you convert part of your living room? Do you have your bedroom? Do you use a spare bedroom? Like, what do you use? I'd love to hear what you use. I have a couple ideas about what I want to do, and obviously it's going to be a little bit different in a few weeks because the Christmas tree is going to come down and Luna's crate is going to move from over where the kitchen table is to over here where the Christmas tree is, so that's going to free up a little bit of space. So that's it. This is my unaesthetic studio. This is where I'm going to be painting from here until the foreseeable future. If you want to see more, please comment below, please follow, please like, smash that button, subscribe, all the things that you're supposed to do. I don't know how you're supposed to end these things. How are you supposed to end these things? Are you supposed to have like a catchy phrase? Am I supposed to have a catchy phrase? I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching the video to this point, and happy arting. We'll see you guys next time.